Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Konich-Yeehaw podcast. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Jared.
And we are back again with another season review. So, spring 2023 just wrapped up, and we want to talk about the things that we watched.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we're going to be talking about how things ended, so spoilers ahead, just so you know. To start off, we wanted to start with the things that are continuing. So, we had...
Right. So I watched Gundam, From Mercury, and it was good. It ended on a happy note, which for some reason some Gundam fans were not happy about. Like, I don't know.
What is it with the mech fandom where happiness just can't be a thing?
It's because mech is war and war is suffering, and that's kind of what Gundam usually is. But there are plenty of Gundam series that have happy endings, so good on them for ending in a canonical lesbian marriage.
Nice. Utena wins again.
For real.
Yes. Okay. And then the other thing that continued that we watched was Demon Slayer. So this arc was the Swordsmith Village arc, in which essentially Tanjiro, after having the big epic battle in the Entertainment Art District, is recovering, and his two friends, who I am forgetting the names of, other than Inosuke, forgot the yellow one's name, sorry, they recovered quicker because they didn't take as many injuries. Or they just recovered quicker. It was actually really weird because Inosuke should have been like dead.
Yeah.
So they went off, did their own missions and stuff. And Tanjiro has this dilemma where he doesn't have a sword anymore because it broke, and his swordsmith doesn't want to make him another one, so he has to go and talk to him in person. And that's how it all starts off. So season progresses, and we are introduced to the main demons, which there are two of them. One is Gyoko, which is upper 5, and he's the one in the vase. And then the other one is Hatengu, which is the one that has 6 personalities. So, what did you think?
They were really
the
cool.
Demons?
They were really cool demons.
Yeah.
They were very unique. Like some of the previous demons were kind of like, I am just strong.
I'm just a demon.
Yeah, it's like they were for the most part still humanoid. And
just kind of funky looking.
Yeah, and they this one was the first to have magic. So think of some of the previous demons. I guess Mugen Train, that what kind of was, because that was their body was the train.
Yeah.
But this is thunder.
Yeah.
It's, and so that was cool. To see more than just, this character is very strong.
Right. Yeah. And I think that both of these, we got a little taste of it with Entertainment Arts with the brother and sister, but they seem to be revealing more about their lives before being demons, because they were once human. So everybody was once human at some point. Even Muzan was forever ago was once a human. So with and they have kind of more human-ish, I don't know, personalities, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. As far as okay, for example, with Gyoko, he's really into art.
Yeah.
So that was something that he carried with him from his past life.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Or if that makes Yeah. So
it's playing more into what I was saying about they're not just I am strong.
Right, yeah. So yeah, I also thought they were really cool. I kind of hyper fixated on Hatengu because I think it's so cool that I think that the personalities that he splits into are really cool.
Yeah.
And they would make a great group cosplay.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, and
it'd be hard, but yeah.
Yeah, but I think I'm hoping to see some of you guys out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping to see some of you guys out there. I think it would be really cool. And then the other like big thing that happened after, you know, demons are defeated and stuff, right? Nezuko has defeated the sun.
It's so stupid. Like, how do you feel about this? How about her, like, being exposed to the sun and then just being fine? Actually better than fine. She's better than she was before.
Yes, it is odd. I wasn't expecting it. Like, I knew that there had to be some twist, right? Because they're not just going to let Nezuko die.
Yeah.
So they have this whole, like, battle of Tanjiro's like, do I cover Nezuko from the sun or do I go and kill the bad guy, essentially? Mm-hmm. And Nezuko is like, go kill the bad guy. Like, don't worry about me. Essentially, she is willingly sacrificing herself.
Yeah.
Right? Because she is burning, by the way. She's like on fire and it hurts, obviously. So Tanjiro goes and kills the bad guy and thinks that he just sacrificed his sister. But then she's fine. She's fine. She just walks up to him and is like, hey.
Yeah.
Like literally, hey. I think it's pretty plot holy.
Yeah.
For sure. I mentioned that it might be because they were the descendants of sun breathers. So maybe they have some special, you know, their family has a special connection to the sun, so the sun will never harm them, or something like that, right? Yeah. Like, no matter what, the sun will never harm them. So, I mean, I guess we'll see where it goes. I kind of like that Nezuko was all action.
Yeah.
And all, like, emotive in the face.
Me too. I think it's definitely a case of they made Nezuko where she couldn't talk.
Right.
And then they realized that's a little inconvenient. Mm-hmm. And so they're like, well, I guess she can talk now. And that's what it feels like to me.
Right. So, season basically ends with that happening. Mm-hmm. And Muzan hears the news of there being a demon who can walk in the sun. And he wants to go and consume her or something. I don't know. But that's the little cliffhanger that we get left on. So, overall, pretty good season.
Yeah.
Pretty good season. Very entertaining. Next, we have Heavenly Delusion, which started pretty slow.
Yeah.
In our opinion. We the first couple of episodes they were just kind of confusing, I guess is the best way to put it. Mm-hmm. And because it didn't make sense, we were kind of thinking, oh, where's this gonna go?
Yeah.
What's, you know, maybe it won't be good. I ended up liking it, though. Mm-hmm. Maybe slightly hate watching it, but for the most part, I did like it. I would watch a season 2. That's how I feel.
Okay.
So
I don't know if I would want a season 2. I feel like it's
they're already making it.
I feel like it's one of those shows that like they make a first season, it's okay, and then they just never touch it again. Mm-hmm. Because I think it was popular.
Yes, it was popular.
But like, I just didn't like it. I didn't like it very much. Uh-huh. There were 2 plots going on at one time. One plot that was in the facility, and then one plot that was what we're pretty sure is like current time.
Right. So we have a fan theory, essentially, that what is happening in the facilities in the past.
Yeah. Which is
total theory, is not explicit in the show, and we could be wrong.
Yeah.
But
I'm pretty sure we're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like the modern day arc, the like exploring arc, mm-hmm. is like it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
it's not the best, and the reason it's not the best is because they give this weird plot line to it. Like, it totally could have, in my opinion, it would have been better if they just stuck with the plot line of, oh, we're trying to find heaven, so we keep going to these places that are called heaven, or that's what they're looking for, right?
Yes, it's a place called heaven, and they essentially keep asking people, have you heard of a place called heaven? And everybody has a different answer, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the apocalypse, so they're going to, just pick.
Right. Yeah. And so halfway through the show, they completely drop that and then pick up the other plot of, oh, we have to find this guy that I knew in my past and the doctor that made my body like this.
Yeah.
And that plot line sucks. Like, the ending is terrible.
Yes. Yes.
And so I think that it was totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
While, on the other hand, the facility plotline was pretty good. It was very confusing, and nothing was really answered, but it was still interesting.
It was intriguing, yes. So, just some, highlights, I guess. So, in this, what we're calling the past, in the facility plotline, Tokyo has twins, which shocks literally everybody in the facility, the adults and the children. Well, the kids don't actually know. The kids never learn. So basically, Tokyo is pregnant and is, having the symptoms of pregnancy, but because she is a child. And they are sheltering it's super utopian, sheltering the children, not telling them anything about anything. Mm-hmm. So Tokyo doesn't even realize that she has had sex and what that does. Basically, they kind of just perform the C-section, and they're like, "Yep, we cured you. Don't worry about it." Weird, but we have the theory that Maru, the main guy in the present, is one of the twins that Tokyo had. Mm-hmm. That's just a theory, though. And also, so the show ends with the facility getting attacked before a test, quote-unquote test, which some of the kids think that the attack is part of the test, but it's not. And things just start to get really weird in the facility, and it is very vaguely in that realm of things are happening, and then that was it. The season was over. And then in the present line, like you said, it ends terribly. It is pretty awful. So Kuroko finds Robin, who is when Kuroko was a boy, that was his mentor, essentially older brother, you could think of. But now that Kuroko is in his sister's body, Robin only sees his sister, and it becomes apparent that he was a predator towards her and still sees her like that, and it gets very ugly. Yeah. Mara has to come in and rescue Kuroko and beat the shit out of Robin, and that's literally how it ends.
Yeah. That's literally how it ends. That there is a monster inside the place that Robin was.
Yeah, so we don't know what Robin was doing. That question is never answered, and Robin just kind of disappears. So he's alive still, but gone. And then the last thing that I just wanted to touch on, and wanted to know what you thought of this, is that Maru reconfesses to Kuroko, right? And says, I would like you whether you're a boy or a girl, because I like you. What do you think about that moment? Because we have some thoughts about this whole brother and his sister's body thing.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know how sincere it was.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can say that, but you've only known her as a girl.
Right.
And so the fact of her having a boy's brain doesn't actually really affect,
how you perceive her.
How you perceive someone.
Yeah.
And so, the gesture is nice.
The gesture was nice. I'll give it a nice.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, he could be... Maru could be feeling sincere in the moment. I can believe that.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how truthful it was.
I think it's going to be one of those things where... This is really how I feel about it. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, we're going to bring it up now of like, oh, I don't care if you're a boy. And then we'll never talk about it ever again because I admitted now that it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that was also part of the ending.
Yeah.
So. All right, moving on. Next we have Hell's Paradise.
I liked Hell's Paradise.
Yes. I also liked Hell's Paradise quite a bit. It got a little confusing towards the end because people were splitting up, information was getting learned, magical things were happening. So the ending kind of happens in a bit of a mishmash.
Yeah.
Is what I think. Because we're also following so many different people who are in so many different parts of the island. That's happening. So, essentially, highlights for the end of Hell's Paradise is the Tensen, which are the godlike creatures, say that there is no elixir of life. Mm-hmm. Right? And, of course, that devastates literally everybody. Well, everybody who hears it. And now everybody is questioning why they're there. What do they do? Because they can't just return and say, oh, it doesn't exist, because no one's going to believe that. They're going to think that they just wussed out.
Yeah.
And also, the Tensen might be lying.
Yeah.
Which I think they just might be lying.
Yeah, because it shows them drinking
something.
Yeah.
They're drinking something. So, there's that.
Yeah. So, it kind of started losing me when it got to the point of, oh, we have to learn this special ability to be able to defeat the Tensen.
Right.
And then everyone just immediately learned it. Mm-hmm. There are some that I give excuses to, because there are some of the characters, they were already using Tao, which is the chakra, life energy, system. Mm-hmm. And some of them were already using that, just called a different thing.
Yes, they just didn't know that they were using it.
Yeah, but there are also some characters that it's like, you weren't using this.
Nope.
Why can you learn this all of a sudden?
Right.
Why do you know this all of a sudden?
Right. So, in particular, it's Gabimaru.
The thing is that with Gabimaru, I thought about it more.
Okay.
I don't think he was ever actually using it, but I think he was unintentionally using it, and that's how he was able to not die. Yeah, how he became immortal.
Yeah, so from what I understand, Gabimaru could see it but not use it himself, if that makes sense. So that's how he was able to deflect all of these attacks. It's because he could see the Tao, the power. And then Mei, the girl who is now a woman, gave a really nothing lesson, just because she doesn't know a lot of words, right? And Gabimaru was like, got it. And he has it now. He has the power.
Who is his executioner's name?
Sagiri.
Okay. Why can she use Tao?
So I think, and the Tensen says this in his little internal monologue, because whenever Sagiri is fighting this Tensen, he's thinking, oh, weak. I see a weak one. But then she gets in her, her headspace of executing, which she explains is a very aware process of making sure that it's a clean cut and everything, right? She's explained this before. And suddenly she has a lot of Tao. Yeah. But it's when she's in her head. It's not necessarily while she is fighting. Yeah. She does not fight with Tao. Yeah. But she makes her executioner's slash with a lot of Tao. So I think that is just how the Asimon have learned to execute, essentially, is by using Tao to make it as quick and easy as possible.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that. I mean, she's using it for one move.
Yeah.
I guess is what I mean. It doesn't mean that she can't really see it.
Yeah.
And she doesn't fight with it constantly.
Yeah. I mean, she does though. That's the thing, is that now every slash she does uses Tao. She's not like
it's because she's purposely doing that.
Yeah.
Which has consequences.
Yeah.
Like later since Tao is like life's energy, if you use too much of it, then you like internally shut down.
Yeah.
Essentially. So team, because like I said, everybody's kind of split. So team Sagiri, Senta, R.I.P. He's the one that died. Yuzuria, they are, and then later joined by Shion and Narugai. Sorry. They are the ones who are kind of moving the furthest, the closest to this possible elixir. And maybe kind of learning the most so far. Definitely learning the most out of everybody. Especially since Shion just straight up is like, yeah, I use Tao because I'm blind.
Yeah. He just straight up knows how to use it.
He just straight up knows how to use Tao. So, there's that. It essentially just ends with them being like, all right, time to move forward. And then season ends. So, would watch another season. But that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good though. Next, we have Skip and Loafer.
Skip and Loafer was excellent.
Skip and Loafer was probably my favorite of this season. I loved it so much. Just a reminder, Skip and Loafer is a slice of life high school show where the main character, Mitsumi, is a country girl who is just super smart, super like gung-ho, and she gets into a high school in Tokyo. So she's country girl, moves to the city, shenanigans ensue, right?
Yeah.
And what I love about this show is how the relationship between all of the friends, the girls who are friends, how they are all written.
Yeah.
Because on the outside, these girls kind of stereotypically wouldn't be friends, because we have the really nerdy one, and then the really pretty one, and then the one that tries really hard but doesn't think she's good enough, right? Those are kind of the three girls that we have. And through the power of Mitsumi wanting to be friends with everybody, they are all friends. And they do talk to each other about like the stereotype of, the nerdy girl doesn't go with the pretty, doesn't hang out with the pretty girl, and the girl who tries too hard is always super jealous of it always has to do with this freaking pretty girl who is not, she's like not a bitch, she's so sweet, she's just like hot and she can't help it, essentially, right? And I love how they interact with each other and how they support each other and how they gas each other up in front of all their other friends. Like whenever the nerdy friend brought her other nerdy friends in to look at the pretty friend's artwork that she worked really hard on, and they kind of were like, wow, you painted this? Like they didn't know what to say. Like she gassed her up in front of her friends. She was like, yeah, she painted this is her dog, it's really cute, she's a really good art,
yeah, she reads books
just like us, guys, she's just like us. Yeah, so I love how that friendship is written. All those friendships are written. I think it's so nice.
I am always a fan of an awkward character, awkward main character,
right?
Because there are in the ocean, in the sea of OP perfect main character isekai MCs. It is always nice. It is always a breath of fresh air to see a slice of life cringe fail girl. Like, her interactions and how she, like, talks to people is just so nice.
Yes,
and
she's so sweet.
She's not, like... She doesn't visually look, like, gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
She looks very awkward.
Yes, and because she's a country girl, honestly, the sense of style, questionable.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was really good. All of the characters are great.
Yes, I love them all so much.
Mm-hmm.
Very good stuff. Would watch another season once again. I don't know if we'll get another one, but would watch another season.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have My Clueless First Friend.
Yeah. This was a incredibly average show. Like, it's not like... This is not a show that I would watch a second season for.
No, I wouldn't. It was cute for what it was. If you guys listen to our What's in Season episode, we actually thought we would drop this one.
Yeah.
Because, and once again, I still say this with all the kindness I can, the art is very mediocre and kind of intermediate.
Yeah.
It's giving DeviantArt slide comic.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It looks like a visual novel.
And, you know, it is what it is. It's all they went for.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. So, once again, slight recap of the story. These are elementary school kids, so they're very young. And that definitely adds to the charm of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a girl who is always bullied for just kind of looking goth-ish. She has the dark hair that covers the eye, and she's quiet and shy and all that stuff. And then we have a new kid who is super energetic and happy and wants to be her friend and loves being her friend and just overall, like, gets other people to see that she... Like, you guys shouldn't bully her, essentially.
Yeah.
Like she's just a kind of cool... She's just a cool person, right? Of course, that turns into, like he has a crush on her, and she has a crush on him. Like, cutesy little elementary school stuff, right? Yeah. And overall, it was cute.
Yeah, it was very cute. There are definitely some times... So the constant theme is that she is called the Grim Reaper because she looks so gloomy.
Right.
And so he really loves that. He's, you know, like the naive elementary school kid that's like, that's so cool. Give me your dark energy and things like that.
Yeah.
And like, that got a little tiresome.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a little much sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Although it's also very sweet, though, how every time a kid tries to bully her and be like, ooh, don't touch me, I'm gonna get cursed, or ooh, like, what are you doing? Are you summoning something? He just flips it.
Yeah.
He completely flips it, and that's really sweet.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There are, however, some really powerful moments, like, throughout the show.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever she takes him to her mom's grave, and he makes the realization that, like, him calling her the Grim Reaper could be really offensive.
Yeah.
It's really powerful. Like,
yeah.
And that was definitely like a turning point for the show.
Yeah.
Because after that, like, all of the characters started being more friendly to each other.
Right.
And just the plot actually progressed.
Yes, it did. But essentially, this moment of him kind of having he had like a snap and realization, right? Mm. Where the naivete kind of took a back seat, and he was like, "Oh my goodness, I feel so bad that I've been saying this to you," and of course she doesn't mind.
Yeah,
she's like, "It's okay. Like, I understand that whenever you say it, it's coming from a place of admiration, mm-hmm. essentially. I know that you never mean to be mean whenever you do it, right? And things do get, awkward. Yeah. But they talk it out, and it's all fine.
Yeah.
Afterwards, and that was a really good moment. In the show.
It was probably the best.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall, cute.
Yeah, it was cute.
Cute for what it was. And then our last show is Insomniacs After School.
Insomniacs After School was probably my favorite show of the season because it scratched that itch that I love to be scratched so much of what it eventually became was, oh, I'm a sick girl, but I'm really happy. And then he's like a depressed boy that doesn't understand life. And then they spend time together, and then they both get happy.
Right.
And I just love that so much. I love a great romance, a really good romance.
It's a really
not
good romance.
like, you know, slow burn can be really tiresome because I want things to actually happen.
Right.
And things, boy, do they happen.
Yes. So, where this show eventually kind of like builds its climax is the two characters, Ganta and Magari, plan a trip to rural Japan. Magari has a grandmother who has a house out there, and they go on a like photo journey, essentially, where they go out to some rural historical site, take some pictures, camp, and then they do that for, I mean, like a week.
Yeah.
They do it for a while. So, and okay, so they're supposed to be at the supervision of Magari's sister, which she dips after a while.
Yeah. After the first day.
After like the first day, yeah. So they're having fun doing their adventures over rural Japan. They're relaxed. Mostly Ganta. Ganta's just like relaxed out in the country, right? His worries have faded. He's doing things that he enjoys, right? And that does wonders. So even his friends are like, you look healthier, you look like you're standing up straighter, and overall you look mentally well. So Ganta is looking healthier, and his friends are noticing. Everybody's noticing. He's also like just more confident in himself, right?
Yeah.
So he's taking on big changes on this, big personal changes on this trip, right? So then there's a night, the fated night, where he opens up about why he can't sleep, because we already know that Marguerite can't sleep because she had a heart condition, and she was afraid of whenever she goes to sleep, her heart slowing down so much that she dies in her sleep. Ganta opens up, doesn't spell it out like, this is the reason I can't sleep,
But
this is the reason he can't sleep. It's because his mother left in the middle of the night, like just got up, like abandoned the family, left in the middle of the night, and when Ganta woke up, I mean, she was gone.
Yeah.
So it was a fear of not knowing what the morning would bring.
Right.
And it possibly being, I mean, absolutely devastating, right?
Yeah.
So he opens up about that. He's crying. And what does Marguerite do? She kisses him.
Yeah.
She kisses him.
Yeah.
Like, what a trope, right?
I know.
What a trope. So they have a kiss. Of course, they have that little awkward, like, wait, hold on kind of moment. And Ganta's like, I'm gonna go get some air. Accidentally walks into the ocean, gets fished out of the ocean by Marguerite. They have a laugh about it, and Marguerite says, let's not talk about it until the end of our trip, right? So the trip continues. Her mom finds out that she has been alone with a boy, so they have to kind of speed it up a little bit. They go and they essentially run away together. They essentially run away together to do this last photo site, last camping site. And at this site is when Ganta says, I love you, and Marguerite doesn't say it back.
Yeah, she doesn't say anything in return.
She just says, I'm so happy, and she starts crying.
Yeah.
So they have a really nice night together. And then we have once again, this is the last episode. We have a time skip. Marguerite is grounded, and their picture won an award. So yay, maybe the astronomy club will get some funding. And it ends with them on the phone, but like not really on the phone, together. Marguerite being like, oh yeah, I never gave you a response. So what I wanted to say is, and then she falls asleep. And that's how the show ends. Very cute stuff, though. Mm-hmm. Very sweet. So well animated. Love the characters. Love their friends.
Yes.
Very good stuff.
This was really the season of she's just like me for real.
She's just like me for real, honestly. I kept thinking that every single time that she was on screen.
Yeah.
Well, I think that about wraps it up for this episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the Konich-Yeehaw podcast. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Jared.
And yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.